What is up, YouTube? I wanted to explain to you guys on what busted is. I feel like a lot of people don't understand what busted means. I also feel like people misuse the terminology busted just to fit what they're trying to deal with, or they don't necessarily have an answer for something in particular. And since they don't have an answer for something in particular and they consider themselves really good, which you most likely suck, you guys call it busted. Today, I'm going to help you guys understand what actual busted looks like, or in other terminologies, broken. Now, let's get right into this video. Broken has something to do with how dominant something is, as far as in meta and mechanics, as far as in the character itself. Usually, the opponent doesn't have an answer for something in particular. And on top of that, the character doesn't have anything particular to deal with something. Leaves you having to deal with something ambiguous, or you have to deal with something in particular that is annoying and your opponent gets away with something in particular. So I'm going to help you guys understand why I think that Ermac's broken. For the record, I main Ermac. Ermac is one of my most played characters. I don't have a problem explaining to you and letting you know certain characters that I play are a problem. I'm not one of those streamers. I'm not one of those players that will get beside themselves and say, oh, this is not busted, or oh, this is not a problem. I'm going to let you know that Ermac is a problem. And we're going to go over a few things in particular on why I think Ermac is a problem. Let's get right into this video. Oh, P.S. really quick. I'm also going to make a video on why I think Natara is broken, alongside Ermac as well, but that'll be a separate video. Don't want to make this video too long. We're going to cover a few things in particular, and we're going to move on. All right, let's get right into this. Now, the reason why I think Ermac is broken is because all his cancels are safe. Not only are all his cancels are safe, he also have cancels that put him at a range where his opponent can't press a button. And if they do decide to press a button, they will get blown up for it. Why would they get blown up for it? Because his back two is a really strong mid. And since it's a really strong mid, it will also catch your opponent poking. Now, not only is back two really strong, but back two 4 is really strong. Why is it strong? Because back two 4 gives you two options in particular. What are those options? With back two 4, you have enough time to either cancel into buttons off of back two 4, or you can let back two 4 hit and cancel not only into a fast move like stand 1, which is 7 frames, you can cancel into your stand 4, which is 12 frames. What does that look like? So I can cancel this to that move. I can cancel that into that move. But what's so crazy is I don't have to cancel. I can do back two 4 into stand 1 and still get a combo. I can do this with stand 4 as well. This is why I think, first, he's broken. Because you shouldn't be allowed to have something like this in particular. Why? Because it should be rewarding for you to learn how to cancel efficiently, rather than having something to back up if you don't cancel. But I digress. Let's talk about back two now. Back two is strong because if my opponent decides to poke like he is right now, I have enough cancels where I can punish him. See that? My opponent does not have the range to deal with it. But we also can say that stand 1 is also +2, which allows me to cancel and have enough time to actually go into back 2 and catch my opponent mash it. So let's think about a move in particular that is. Let's use. We'll use stand 2. That's -7 on block. I have enough time to actually backdash in my opponent's face. But look how far away I have canceled from my opponent. I will literally punish my opponent for trying to counter my cancels. Sometimes in fighting games, especially Mortal Kombat, if someone is not really good or you're unsure on how good they are at canceling, you would challenge them to see if they know what to do under pressure, or if they decide to cancel in your face a whole bunch, if they have a game plan really behind what they're doing. With Ermac, like I told you, with his back to 4, everything allows him to OS into buttons. For an example, 1-2. 1-2 is strong because if they don't get hit by it, you can back up into pressure like this. And you can combo. This is strong because if my opponent does get hit by stand 1-2, I am able to cancel backdash and still get a combo. So if I were to be playing online and I was unsure if my opponent was going to get hit, this is an OS right here. I want to back up and I can go into combo, right? So I go and then I go into my combo, yada yada yada. But if my opponent does get hit, I can OS this. This is what it looks like. I still get enough time to combo. So that itself, 1-2 is really strong because I have enough time to backdash cancel into back 2. Back 2 is 14 frames, which allows you to understand how plus 1-2 is on hit and how strong his backdash is. So I can do 1-2 and still have time to go into combo. This is what you call broken. Why? Because everything is doing things for you. There's not enough thought process in fighting games today where you are rewarded for having the knowledge and the awareness of how to play and execute a character that takes skill. This is what we all want in a fighting game at the end of the day. There's nothing in particular in modern fighting games today, especially Mortal Kombat, in my opinion, that shows that you stand out more than the other player when it comes to character awareness or character loyalness or how good you are with the character in particular. So, a lot of times the character is doing things for you. There's no thought process behind anything that you do. In other fighting games where I can talk about like MKX, even though that game was annoying or broken, you still had to play your opponent to a way where if my opponent do poke in certain situations, I can back up and then kind of whiff punish him. This game is doing everything for you. I can do 1-2 and still have enough time. You see how the second hit only hit? I'm trying to get the second hit to only hit. And I still have enough time to cancel in combo. Not a lot of characters can do that, actually. Even if you get the second hit cancel, does not allow you to combo. Anyway, I think that's busted and broken. And I also think his back 2-4 is also busted and broken. Why do I think it's really good? Because if my opponent decided to use a long-reaching normal to kind of catch me backdashing because they're down one distance far, I can still have enough time to actually backdash and punish my opponent. I would like to show you what that looks like. So let's say I did this. I still have enough time to punish my opponent off of every button that I have. I can do as you can tell, this allows you to understand that you're able to cancel off any string, which makes you a problem. When it comes to canceling, I feel like depending on what string you use, you should be at a disadvantage or an advantage. So I look out for certain strings in particular that you use that I can challenge. I shouldn't be scared to poke off at any string that you use to take your turn or to cancel off of. I think that itself is broken. Now, another thing that I think is broken about Ermac is that not only can he do things like this in particular, I'd rather show you. He can do things like this, and he's safe. No meter spent, but I'm safe, and I get a combo. Right? This is a problem because I feel like if I use meter to cancel, it makes more sense to bait my opponent rather than just doing this and I'm automatically safe. That itself, it is also broken. But if I spin meter, I should be able to be negative like that and have my opponent punish me because I shouldn't, I shouldn't have to worry about my opponent playing mind games off of if he's going to spin meter or not and be safe. This being strong is a problem. So watch this. I just broke my opponent's arm because he thought that I was going to cancel, or he just thought that I was going to do I was going to do like, you know, something like this because he saw me float in the air, or he just saw that. And what's also broken about this move is that it jails. See how it broke armor? That means my opponent has to hold this pressure. So now, not only are you playing mind games off of 4-4, you could say that you could duck it and everything like that, but when you're playing layers with your opponent, the stuff becomes strong. So not only can I do EX, I can also EX and go into a low, or I could just go straight into a low. I could do that as well. Or I could do this. Hold on. Now I'm plus. Not only am I plus, I also jail now. That's another mind game you're going to have to play, and I'm going to show you that it jails. See how my opponent couldn't mash armor there? But if I do any other string, like if I did this string, see how you can armor there? I'll try to do back 2-4. It shows that this jails, and they can get baited off of that. So not only can they get baited off of this, I can also have enough time to backdash and block and OS that option as well. I'll still be out of range if my opponent decides to poke. Look how far away I am. I cancel, by the way. Look at that. Look how far away I am. And I still can punish my opponent. This, again, ladies and gentlemen, is what broken looks like. Okay? Not only is this broken, I can also do things like this and steal the game from you. Regardless of how good you think you are, 80% of you guys in certain situations are getting hit by that. It becomes a little more obvious depending on the life difference. But at the end of the day, depending on your mental stack that you're playing with your opponent, this becomes insane. And then when you have too much knowledge and think that the low is coming because you see this, when you see this, you think the low is coming, but actually it's an overhead. The scary part about this is that not only is 4-4 not glowing, but the second hit of it is glowing. So if I did this throws my opponent off for a slight second. That's all I need because they're looking for the low. So when I do things like this, they get hit. And what's also kind of busted about this character is that I have a true reset. I can literally reset my opponent like that. That is a true reset. My opponent has to hold that. There's nothing they can do. Because since this doesn't combo, Since this doesn't combo twice, that becomes real. That itself is really strong because my opponent has to play that layer. See how my opponent tried to armor it? And I can put this on in the middle of my combo. Since I'm able to do this in the middle of a combo and I can take this away whenever I feel like it, I can even take it away during combo and put it back on, take it off, put it back on, and so on and so forth. That itself is really broken. These are things in particular that make not only this character strong, but broken and hard to fight against because of how many mental stacks and layers he can play with you. He can also do stand 1 into stand 1 for combo. I can do that. So I can go boom, 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 and still get a combo off of that. This is what you call really strong. Not only is he really strong in that aspect, he also has multiple safe jumps. Let's talk about them. Let's go to get up on, put it on this, and let's talk about it, right? Safe jump. That is a safe jump. Not only is this a safe jump, depending on what cameo you use, sector, you can go for setups that actually break your opponent armor. We're not going to talk about that because that's more or less doing setups with a cameo in particular and utilizing the character in a way where it functions correctly, or you can capitalize off of the sense that he is broken. But anyway, that's one safe jump. You also have another safe jump. Keep it simple. That is another safe jump. Not only do you have those two safe jumps, depending on if they're in a corner or not, you could do things like this. Hold on. Do it mid-screen really quick. It can make sense. You can do things like this. You get not only a safe jump, but a cross-up jump into safe jump. Why is this strong? Because safe vertical jumps or diagonal jumps, I apologize, actually take more frames than a regular just jump. These take more frames. Like jumping diagonal, they take more frames. So it allows you to understand how plus you are off these. This is really strong. So he has those two that I showed you. I showed you that one. That's a safe jump. And he also has this one. Hold on. I don't think that one works that way. Keep it simple real quick. Safe jump. So that's 3 safe jumps. Now, the other safe jump that I wanted to talk to you guys about is this safe jump. That safe jump is situational, but it's still strong regardless of the fact. Because it's still a safe jump. So you have about 4 safe jumps that allow you to keep your turn. This is strong because you have something called a 1-2 that breaks armor easily. So if an opponent wanted to do a string that was -5 and kind of armor after, they not necessarily can do it. They can't do it. Even a character like Sector cannot do it at all. It would get her armor broken. And I'll let you guys go figure that out. If she tries to do any string and then try to armor after it, like if she was with Motaro, she can't do it. So you can blow her up with that, with your 1-2. This is your armor break, by the way. That shit is strong. Utilize it. And you can utilize playing mental stacks with your opponent with things like this. You could do this off of any string. Now, it's up to your opponent to be like, okay, I'm gonna duck here. But it becomes really strong because of how quick it is. It will throw you off. And another thing that makes this character broken is his throw. Not only his throw, but his throw range. See how close I am? I can still grab my opponent from this range. Now, switch to. She can't grab me from this range. But he can. I didn't change anything. Look at that. I'm grabbing you from this range. So times where you think, okay, I'm in a range where my opponent is going to go for like this string, he's grabbing. See what I'm saying? Boom, grab. Boom, boom. Shimmying you. You don't have to be this close. At this point, I can start shimmying you off of 1-2 and other mind games that we're not going to get into. This is another example of what broken looks like. Don't know why this went on the radar for so long. Yes, I utilize it. Yes, it's very strong. And there's a lot of other characters in this game that are strong that I would use Ermac for. Just going to let y'all know, all those people out there who be talking shit that say they can beat me, I'm most likely going to play Ermac against you. I know why you guys are scared to play for money. But anyway, this itself is very, very strong. A lot of times people think that I main Cyrax, which I essentially do. And I play all these other characters. But if it come down to it, I'm playing Ermac against you. This character is very, very strong. I do believe that this character deserves a nerf. I do believe that this character needs a rework or something in particular where we start playing off of certain things in particular that are negative. So if I'm doing things like this and I'm not spinning the bar, this should be super negative. So the float should take a little longer. Like if I'm floating, before I press a button, I should float a little longer. I have to spin bar in order for it to come out this quick. That's just my opinion. There's plenty of things in my opinion that needs nerf, but I don't think my opinion matters enough to change a character. I just wanted to make this video to keep you guys aware of what broken really is, rather than saying something in particular that a character does is broken. We have to start utilizing terminologies correct. We all love saying nerf this, buff that, this is broken, busted. Let's talk about the real facts here. So all the things that I compared to you and told you what is busted or broken, I want you guys to think about other characters and what makes them busted or broken in your opinion. And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Also too, if you guys can leave a like or comment or hit that notification and let you guys know when I upload some more videos like this. But I wanted to inform you guys on what broken really is. There's a lot more about this character, in my opinion, that is broken, but we're not going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about one last thing that I think is broken about this character, and then we're going to move on. I think his back throw is too damn long. It's too damn long because he's now able to combo off of it with any cameo that allows him to go for a combo. It takes too long in the air, and he has enough time where he can call for an airborne character or an ambush character to come help him, especially one that takes multiple hits. This itself is very, very strong. I think his throw animation should completely change, and we all knew it from the beginning that it was dumb and busted when we saw the trailer. But as Mortal Kombat players, we all complain about things, but we never make a change. We have to all stand together. We all have to work together. We have to come together and say, this is dumb, this is broken. We need a fix and change. We got to start holding the devs accountable for their games in particular and stop spending hundreds of dollars on a game that is not completely finished. I know you guys enjoy the game and you have a lot of hope into this game, but I'm going to start explaining to you guys on why I think Mortal Kombat 1 is probably the worst fighting game. Not only is it the worst fighting game, but it's also a party game. I myself enjoy the game. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make the point that this game in particular needs some more help. And all you guys out there that are toxic and have this sense of pride that's saying, I'm really good at fighting games, and all you play is Mortal Kombat, I'm here to let you know that's not the case. Anyway, I appreciate you guys liking and commenting, as I said already. And I appreciate the feedback, like, dislike, whatever you got to do. I appreciate it nonetheless. At the end of the day, it helps me regardless of the fact. And then on top of that, I would love to hear from you guys on what you guys think is busted, what's not busted, what needs to be changed, etc., etc. Anyway, it's your boy Jay-Z Bob.